No matter what you do in this life, do not be a villain in your own story. Hi, guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and this is your first time, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you do subscribe because on this channel, it's nothing but good vibes and positive energy. Okay, so basically, 2023. Hmm. I don't even know like if I can describe the year in one word, but this year was one for the books for me because it was like a bittersweet, like how do I, you know how you can be having the time of your life and also losing your mind at the same time? That's basically what 2023 was for me. I dealt with like some of the toughest things that I've experienced in my entire life. I'm not even joking. And this year taught me like so many different things. So in this video, I just want to share like some of like the best lessons of 2023. Some things I might go into details, some I might not, but just basically like, to give you guys an idea of some of like the things that I experienced in the year in all aspects of my life. So the first thing is protecting my peace, right? Like when you hear like protect your peace, trust me, it's very important. Like I learned how important it is because it's like if you let so much of the outside noise get to you, I'm someone that constantly deals with like anxiety. This year I was like the most depressed. I'm not even joking. Like depression doesn't show on your forehead when you see someone, right? But I can tell you that I went through a lot of things. I had the most mental breakdowns. I had so many different things. And thankfully, I let's not jump into that. So protecting your peace is key because like I said, you don't let the outside noise get into you. I once read this quote that talked about how a ship does not sink because it's on water, but it sinks because the water gets in. So it's more like if you allow the water to get into your ship, it's going to sink. So it's like whatever is happening on the outside, you don't let it into your space. I can't even emphasize on the importance of actually protecting your peace. Like, I feel like that's self explanatory enough, honestly. Do not let the outside noise or any form of negativity get into you because your mind has to be strong. Like, that's something that my mind, like, what's it called? The year taught me. It's like, I knew that I was strong, but I was strong in 2023. Yeah, let's get to the next. Another thing this year taught me is to stop feeling guilty for leaving things that no longer serve me. It could be things, it could be people, it could be places, it could be habits, it could be anything. So I used to be very sentimental. Like I'm not even gonna lie. Like I used to be the type of person that, for you know how they say, oh, when we talk about friendships now, it's like it's not by the friend that you've known the longest, that really has your back or like that can come through for you when you're in times of need or whatever you need support and stuff like that. So it's like when it comes to people, like I'm not even saying relationships like romantic relationships. I'm talking even friendships, acquaintances, like basically just people around you. I used to be that person that would always hold on to things and people just by the history, or you think about how, oh, this person was there for me at so time and blah blah blah. But it's like growth happens a lot while you're in it. And one thing that I learned about growth this year is that not everybody can grow with you, and that's okay. Like that's totally fine because like I grew a lot this year. Like I was like, to be honest, January me will not even believe what we are in like right now, what December me is doing, like what December me has achieved, or like the people December me is now leaning towards. Like it's just like it's life, right? And I exactly did not have a manual or anyone to tell me or like hold my hand and walk me through how life works. I literally had to experience every single thing on my own and just, make the mistakes, learn the lessons and whatever. So I had to like restructure my mind to let myself move on from things and people. There are people that will move on from you without you knowing, right? But it's like I would be the one that no matter how bad something is, no matter how much someone hurts me, like even in my romantic relationships in the past, it's like I would still stay. I would forgive like 1,000 times. And then it's like it's okay to forgive, but forgiveness should not really be like access, right? So you can be at peace with someone, like, everything is good, but they don't exactly have to still have access in your life, if we're being fair. So I learned a lot that it's okay. You're growing. Everybody around you cannot grow with you. The ones that are I have people actually in my life, like friends that have been with me like high school. I'm talking like uni, like up to this level. Do you get? There's some like that have fallen off because we're not on the same headspace anymore. Our goals are different. Our what's it called? Our drive is different. What drives me different from what drives you. If we can't have conversations because we're not on the same mental level or whatever, it's fine. Expired friendship is not beef, right? But then it's like you have to pay attention to the people that are around you and how, you know, they reflect into your life. Some people easily, without even trying, will fit into your life. Whatever stage you get to, there's people that will be there. And I've also learned that along the line, I'm very like God this, God that, because God does everything for me, right? So I always just talk about how at every stage that I get to in my life, I've seen how even without me thinking about it, like God has always put the people that He thinks I need. People are in your life for different reasons, like they say for the season, for the reason, and some for a lifetime. So like I've learned to really be okay with the fact that some people can be there for a season. You might not even know me before, but like I could be in a stage in my life where it's like you're the person that God brings to help me get through something. And when that happens and your time is over, you might not even fit into the next stage that I'm going into. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but it's very okay to just, you know what, move on. So yes, I learned that I need to stop feeling guilty when I'm doing something and it's like certain people around me are not fitting into the schedule or they're not fitting into, my life anymore, or like I just cannot, like it's not my fault. It's not your fault if you're in the same categories. Like I'm just sharing this based on my own personal experiences, right? So the next thing on my list is that I am enough. Yes. Lots of self doubt, lots of anxiety, lots of, everything negative. And sometimes it's like you don't want to go for certain things because you feel like you're not deserving. This year taught me that you are capable of achieving anything that you want to do if you put your mind to it. Sometimes all you have to do is try. Do you know how many things I achieved this year by simply just, I don't even know if I'll get it. I don't even know if like someone will see my email. I don't even know if I apply for this thing, like, I will be shortlisted, like, out of like I'm in America. So it's like out of like all the people in this country, the people that are citizens and all of that, why is it me that they will see? But sometimes it's like just try. You never know. And I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I can tell you that every single thing that I applied for this year, every single thing that I, reached out to get came out positive. And I was shocked. It was like a 1 month, I be 2 months this year. Everything was like back to back, like this one, the next one is like, yes. And I'm like, wow. So it's like you need to start believing more in yourself than you actually do, because trust me, you are enough. What is for you will never pass you by. Next thing on my list is you need to allow people to be there for you sometimes. So, yes, this is so me because I'm very used to being isolated, right? Like I said, I've had to figure out a lot of things on my own in this life. Like my first instinct when I'm hurting or like, I'm sad or something is wrong, I just stay away, shut everybody out. And then this year really showed me that there's people that genuinely love and care about you, that it's okay to open up. I opened up a lot this year as opposed to how I usually would. I don't talk about a lot of things like my personal life. I don't talk about family, so many things, right? Like I just try to be very positive, like focus on my work life, like just getting better at myself, like just creating memories and doing all these things that I believe that as an adult and a young adult actually you should be doing. But I didn't really used to deal with like a lot of like my trauma. Let me just call it trauma, honestly. Like, if I'm actually trying to be honest in this video. So I learned that you can actually open up to certain people. Also, I've opened up to some people in the past that have used it against me. That's one. I dealt with like a really serious heartbreak last year. The heartbreak is not like relationship, like, like romantic relationship. I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I'm not even going to go into that. But I dealt with like not even one actually. Like, there were specific things that happened that I chose not to talk about or focus on or even just deal with. I was just more about I want to move forward. Like, what is the next thing? I'm in a stage that is so critical right now. I can't be dealing with things like this. So it's more like creating that shelf in your head where you just dump stuff and dump stuff and dump stuff until like it starts to really hit, like, it starts to really hit you. So I realized that, yeah, there are people that you can open up to. The fact that, it didn't work, it's just like being in a relationship. Like, I'm sure not everybody met somebody the first time I got married to them. Like, just like you meet a guy, you date a guy, the relationship can last for a couple months or years, and you guys break up, you move on and be find another boyfriend. So it's more like that's what friendship is also about. There's people that will be there for a while. You feel like, okay, this person, I trusted this person, they did this to me. But it's like, yeah, there's other people that you've not even met the people in your life, like all the people in your life that's gonna really love you and treat you right, right? So that's one thing that I really learned this year, like learning to allow people be there for me. It's like every time I'm hurt, like, it's okay for me to be able to open up and like rant to a friend, like talk to somebody that I feel like my heart warms up to and be like, this is what I'm going through, or these are things that I don't really talk about. And I did a lot of, oh, I don't even want to cry in this video. Oh my God. I did a lot of opening up this year. Like, there's just certain people that, as I'm talking about this, like they're just like popping in my head, and I'm like just thinking about like how much they really came through for me this year, how much they really like listened, and how much they were just really warm and encouraging. And I feel like everyone just needs to have people in their life that really genuinely loves them. Let's get to the next. So the next thing I learned, anxiety is a liar. Oh. See, like I said before, I'm always anxious. Everyone around me knows it. I overthink, like I have panic attacks, like, and I realize that sometimes it's just this thing is playing tricks on you. My anxiety is so bad. It does not show on my face because people see me and feel like you're so confident, you're so outspoken, you work in communications and public relations and blah 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 blah. Yes, but you don't see me when I'm by myself. You don't know like how long it takes me to make a decision. You don't know how much I have to overthink something before I do it. Even in content creation, it's like just creating a video. It's like you don't know how long it's gonna take me, like, to decide that okay, I'm gonna put this out there. I have to like call some people to even like, oh, come and help me look at this. Like it's like sometimes my confidence level drops and it comes up and it's like, but I've realized that my anxiety is lying to me. So I started building like affirmations like this year. Like I have a lot of them that certain times when I'm feeling a certain way, like, I just have to recite that to myself. Like I grew really close to God this year. Like I've always been like, in that space. But this particular year I was like more intentional. Like, I grew very close to God. And I can tell you, like, God, which brings me to the next point. One of the lessons that I really learned this year is like when you have God, you have everything. Like this one is like in bold. God is, I don't want this to go very spiritual and religious, but I just want to say like God is everything that you need in any situation, no matter the present or absent or the individual, like whoever, whatever it is. As long as you have God, I promise you, you can go through anything in this life. And then the next one is silence. Silence is golden. Yeah, I feel like this is self explanatory. I don't know if I really need to go into details for this one, but not every there's this thing I'm trying to remember. Not every response or something, let me see. Not every response, what's it called, deserves a reaction, or not every reaction deserves a response. Whatever you think it is, please, nobody should stress me with English this morning. Anyways, hold on. I'm actually Googling it because we need to find out what it is. Oh, not every action deserves or needs a reaction. I actually had to Google it to be 100% sure what I'm saying. But yes, I learned how important silence is. So I used to be a very reactive person. By reactive, I mean like I could get a text message or like, something is happening. Like I always used to feel the need to address things like, no, like I'm being misunderstood, or someone's trying to talk to me about something and I'm getting defensive. Like I want to like, explain. I go explain to her. So yes, I learned that there's some things that you don't need to. Which brings me to the next point, and the next point is you don't always have to tell your side of the story. I can tell you for a fact that there's things that have happened. There's been like miscommunication, misunderstanding, and just some random things that I don't even know where it's coming from, right? That you'll just hear and you just be like, and then like all these people that will inherit enemies and recruits other people, those are like the worst kind of people, right? And I know something really happened last year that I still don't want to really like give audience to, but it just made me realize, like after some time, it just made me realize that it's fine. You're doing better, right? Maybe that's how God wanted it to happen. Nobody needs to even hear from you. I'm the last person. Like, I'm not a, if something happens with me and somebody, I'll go on social media and be dragging the person or be making like subtle, like all these posting quotes on my Instagram story or like throwing subtle shades at someone. I don't do that shit. Like, I'm gonna ignore you like you don't exist. You won't even know if you will not even believe that something happened between me and you, right? So like if something happens between me and someone or there's like a miscommunication or whatever, you're most likely going to hear from the person first or hear, but I won't speak on it. I don't. I really like, it's not me anymore. Because it's like once I tried the first time to have a proper conversation, because I'm very like, I don't want to say confrontational, but like I'm someone that likes to communicate. So it's like if you come to me with something, I want to know like in details, like let's talk about it, like but some people are very unreasonable. And it's okay to just leave them where they are. Leave people where they are. Like honestly, this year I learned that one. Sometimes no need. Once I'm trying to talk to somebody, I'm trying to be, communicating, and someone makes statements and tells me like, oh, it's not that deep, or it's this, or it's that, or like, oh, don't worry about, dude. You're never gonna hear anything from me again. Like I'm gonna be like, I tried. So yeah, the next thing is every storm comes to an end. I think this one is also self explanatory, but yeah, just like the sentence, every storm comes to an end. I went through things this year that I didn't even know what the next day would be like. When you're just like, oh my God, is there any hope? Like, how long is this gonna be? But it's like everything eventually passes. And that's the fun of it because you look back, like I look back, I was doing my 2023 recap today, like just, looking at my gallery, posting like just putting together some highlights, right? And I was just almost in tears, like just like, oh my God, I remember what happened on this day. Oh my God, I can't believe this was this year. So it's like, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what difficult situations you find yourself, take it from me that it's gonna pass. Like they say, joy comes in the morning. I had some weeks this year that my Monday can be like, yee, I'm bubbly, like, everything is good, I'm feeling so great, da 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 da. And then I'm home that night and I'm literally crying myself to sleep, or like I'm literally having like the worst of panics, or I'm having like, crazy anxiety that is like so many different things. The next day can be like a really down day when I'm just crying and I'm sad. Like I'm sometimes like you don't even know where it's coming from, or maybe like something is triggering you, and the next moment is like, yeah, I'm back to being happy again. So it's like all boiling down to the mind thing, right? It's like you have to protect your peace. You have to try your best as possible. I think that's my fridge. I don't know if you guys can hear, but like there's a sound in the background. But you have to try your best to just make sure that you focus on the things that bring you peace. Like focus on the people that make you feel warm. And yeah. And the next thing is a delay or rejection is always God's protection. This one is so self explanatory. I don't feel bad anymore when things don't go my way because it's like in front, right now, it might not make sense, but in front, when you get after some time, you just be like, God, I see what you did there. It's like, God is such a master planner and his sense of humor is too funny. Like, he's amazing. So it's like, yeah, when things are not going my way, like instead of how I used to feel before when I would just be so worked up and so sad and so like angry and resentful and whatever, now I'll just be like, okay, calm down. Like maybe that's how God wants it to be. It will all make sense in the future. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I don't want to speak too much on that one. And it also brings me to that point of keep going. It's like no matter how down you feel, like if I have to call 10 people to talk to about something, or I may talk, trust me, I don't talk to up to 10 people, but if I have to call 10 people to like bring up an idea or be like, oh, I want to do this thing, I'm feeling like, not so confident about it. If I need 10 people to tell me, do it, but it's like, keep going. I have to tell myself every other time, it's like, keep going, no matter what. It's like, you're not seeing the results. Even with content creation, I used to feel so discouraged at the beginning where I feel like the people that I expect to, support me, like, they're acting like they're not seeing my posts or the numbers are not growing. But after some time, I had to reprogram my mind to tell myself that, hey, girl, you're doing it for yourself. Do you know, very recently, I was watching some of my early videos, like not even just on YouTube, even on my TikTok. And I was really like, oh my God, like you've grown so much. Like, so I decided that it's for me. I'm gonna look at some of these videos like in a couple years time or even months, and I'm gonna be smiling like I was that day, because it's like it's my video diary. It's also me just trying to share a bit of my life. Like it's not like everything that's going on in my life. No, but it's for me. I'm doing it for myself. So it's like whatever you're doing for yourself, right? Just keep doing it. Don't worry about who's supporting, like who's not there. If it's content creation, one thing that I've chosen to do now, forget about the numbers and just keep creating your content. Keep posting, keep doing. I know I'm not consistent, to trust me, but in 2024, don't worry, it will be better. But I'm basically just saying, like, these are some of the things that I have learned from also going through some of these experiences. And then I think I'm going to add the last two together. No matter what you do in this life, do not be a villain in your own story. I'm very okay with being misunderstood sometimes. Anybody that doesn't even know nobody even knows what's happening in my life. I don't know what's happening in a lot of people's lives too. Because forget about social media and going out and posting and all of these things. You cannot know what's happening in somebody's life by simply watching them on social media. Because why? People would constantly only post what they want you to see. So for me, it's like I'm okay if somebody is saying shit about me or like, misunderstanding me or judging me or assuming, but I'm not okay if I'm doing it to myself, right? I cannot be suppressing myself constantly because I feel like this brings me back to the type of people you have around you. It also brings me back to the protecting your peace thing, because it's like I've seen how the people that I've let into my space, the people that are around me, the people that I've constantly found myself to be around, I've seen how much influence and effect they've had on me as a person and also my habits. There's people that when I'm going through something or I'm feeling a certain way or they reach out to me or like I'm talking to them, like I feel, warm and calm, and I don't get my phone is constantly on DND. I'm not going to change my bad character in 2024. But anyways, my phone is constantly on DND, but I have friends that I talk to every day. I have people that message me all the time and they get a response literally immediately when I'm with my phone, right? And there's people that once I see their message or I see their name or something, just instant anxiety. I don't want to be around people like that. So it's like, yeah, you have to be very intentional about that because it definitely will drive a lot of things around you. And this also brings me to I think my last point. Like, let me just end here because I feel like this is getting too long. Probably longer than I thought it would be, and I probably explained a lot of things. But this one is that you need to pray more. Whatever religion you practice, you're Christian, you're Muslim, like whatever you believe in, pray more. I told you guys this year I grew really close to God. I like God started speaking to me more. I started understanding the different ways that He actually challenges me. I started understanding, like I was telling my friend, was it last week or so, the week of Christmas? I was talking to her like an experience, like an encounter that I had, like a very like physical encounter that I had, and it was very scary, but it made me just see like how real God is, like how sometimes all you need to do is just talk to Him. All you need to do is just, you know, of course he can see us, of course he can hear you before you speak, but sometimes he just needs you to like acknowledge that he's there in your life, right? So however you want to pray, like whether it's reading, if you're a Christian and is reading the Bible, or listening to like, gospel music, whether it's worshiping or praise, or even just like being kind, like maybe charity stuff, like there are so many ways that you can build a relationship with God. There's so many ways that you can just, work towards being a good person. Like, don't get me wrong, all these things that I'm saying, I'm not advising anybody. I'm just basically sharing my own personal opinions and personal lessons that, some of my experiences taught me this year. I am constantly like, one thing that I'm really trying to do going forward is like, I'm thinking of ways to be a better friend to my friends, because I feel like sometimes I don't understand why they show me as much love as they do. Like, I might not show it. I might not even speak about it to them. I might even be acting very carefree sometimes. I might not be the one that shows the most emotion. But people that know, like people that know me that I'm such a soft person at heart. And I'm always so thankful. Like sometimes I feel like I'm not even in a position to be able to like, you know, do things for them as much as they do for me, show up for them as much as they show up for me. But some of them don't even think so. They already think that I'm doing great enough. But it's like the kind of people that I have around me, they are constantly like showing me like why, I need to do better. Like even if they are not complaining, they are not asking, but because of the way that, they treat me, it's making me on my own tell myself that you have to think of ways to be a better friend because these people are amazing. So it's like, yeah, there's like so many other lessons, but these ones stood out for me, and I kind of like just wanted to share. Like, I don't know if I was talking so much, but please forgive me and listen to it like that. But anyways, guys, it's a new year and I'm really excited about the year. Like, I'm not feeling any form of anxiety, like, oh my god, this year, like, I didn't achieve everything I wanted to this year, but this year I over exceeded my expectations, honestly. Things that were not even on my vision board, I saw that they were literally just like, coming, taking themselves off. And I was really great. I'm really grateful for all the experiences and all the blessings and everything that this year brought me. I don't feel like I lost anything. I felt like anything that was meant to stay in my life is still here. I still have my people. I still have the love of God. Like, I still have my family. Like, I'm still growing as a person, and I'm really grateful for that. And yeah, so basically, that's everything that I wanted to talk about today. I probably even said more than I should have. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will try my best like to give you guys like way more content in the new year. Let me also know if you actually like my sit down videos, like me just sitting down and talking to you guys. If there's specific things that you feel like you want me to share more or talk about, I'm very more than willing to listen to your suggestions. So, thank you guys and Happy New Year.